Okay, so I'm exiting from the bead that corresponds with my silver bead. So we're going to do 2 right angle weave units, then we're going to do 2 units of MRAW on each side. I'm assuming that you can kind of remember how to do all of that. Hopefully you can. So go ahead, pick up your 3. If you're coming out from the top, you're going to go into the bottom. I'm holding it upside down. So when I said the top, I literally did mean I was coming out the top here. I went into the bottom. So this is just a regular right angle weave. Go through those 2. And again, another unit of raw. So this is kind of easier because it's all gold at the moment. You don't have to worry about different colors. Once you've sewn that on, you don't need to travel anywhere. You're actually in position to do your 2 MRAW units. You just have to turn your piece sideways, and then you can do 2 units of MRAW with your 4 gold beads. So here's 1 unit. And our 2nd unit. So here we're at the bottom. Our corners on this unit, at the bottom they are red and at the top they are green. So we're going to go ahead and pop in a red corner and another red corner. And then we're going to fill in our 2 gold spaces here. And then we're in a position where we can turn this way, and we're going to do 2 MRAW units of gold. So pick up your 4 beads. Go into your skip that first bead, so into the 2nd bead. It's all the same as what we've been doing. And if you're a little bit gappy, it's okay. Okay, and so here our corners are green. So we're going to pick up a green bead, go through that top bead, pick up another green bead, go down into that bead. Okay, so that's those corners on. And then we have to fill in 2 gold beads. So go ahead and fill those in. And just scooch all the way down to the bottom. Okay, so that's the base put on for our gold area. Now we're going to sew through the bottom gold, the red, and the first gold at the bottom to get ready to do our filling in. So here our filling in is going to be, and I'll again put it over here and I'll start at the bottom. So start at the bottom color, work your way up. So it's going to be silver, green, red, green, red. So we're going to do just like we did before, go into the bead opposite. So we've got a silver. Silver is first. And then up there plus 2. So 3 in total. So there's our silver in place. Next is green, and then red, and then green and red. So I will speed through that, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I finished building that spine with the silver, the green, the red, the green, and the red. I'm coming out the top here. I'm going to jump up here, and I'm going to fill in the gaps with gold, and then work my way over here. I'm going to build a spine here with green, and then fill in the gold, and then work my way up to here. Okay, so I'm going to do fast forward through all of that because it's kind of the same as what we did below, and I don't want you guys to fall asleep because this video is so incredibly long. Okay. And very quickly, I forgot to say you do need to do your reinforcing. So go up 3 through the middle. You can go down 3, cut through, come to this one, go through the middle, come to that one before you do your spine and fill that in. So don't forget to do that stabilizing where we're skipping over these 4 corner beads. We're jumping from here to here to here, and then go up, and then jump from here to here to here to help, you know, keep that more sturdy. Okay, I'm going to do that off camera because I have to flip it over to the back a lot, but just remember to do that, and then fill in your spine with a what color? A green right here. A green one goes in the middle right here, and then 2 gold, and I'll meet you when I get up to here. Okay, so I'm going to leave you to do that. Hopefully you can manage that. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so hopefully that went okay for you. You were able to reinforce and then put that spine bead in and go back and forth between this red bead and the silver bead, and then make your way up to here. It's often easier to turn it over so you can see where the right angle weave units are when you're trying to get somewhere, or when you're doing the reinforcing of that middle section. It just helps it stay more upright and not flop down. Okay, I know it's annoying to have to do it, but it is kind of necessary. All right, so I'm coming out from my last little H section here. I'm going to do 2 right angle weave units. So the first one's going to be silver, red, silver. And then I'm going to do one that's red, silver, red. And then I'm going to flip over. Well, let's do that first of all. So silver, red, silver. So these are just normal right angle weave units. Trying to get up into that red bead. There we go. And pass through that silver bead that you just added plus the red bead, and then you're going to pick up a red and a silver and a red. We're nearly finished with this section. So red, silver, red, go down into that red. And then when we flip over, we're in a position right now to do our raw units. So this, again, this is going to be going downwards. So we're only going to do 1 MRAW here, and then we'll do 2 up here. And remember, the corners of this lower bit are going to be silver. The corners at the top are going to be red. Okay, so coming out here, we're going to pick up 2 silvers, a red and a silver, just like kind of what we've been doing the whole time. 2, 1 and 2, go up into that red bead. Try not to get yourself tangled there. Oopsies, I went through an extra bead when I went through my red bead, looks like. There we go. Okay, so I went up through my red bead. I'm going to skip the first silver bead and go into that second silver bead. Okay, so there we have our one little unit. Remember, we're only doing one, and the corners here are silver. So go ahead and pick up a silver, go through that red bead at the end, pick up another silver, go through the silver bead, and then we have to fill one gap here. So go ahead and do that. Pick up one silver and go through the next bead, and then we can turn this way and we can do 2 MRAW units. So again, we're going to be doing 2 silvers, a red and a silver. Pass through that second bead, again 2 silvers, a red and a silver, and up through the red bead, going into that second silver bead. And here, because we're coming out the top, here we want our corners to be red. So go ahead and pick up a red bead, go through the red bead at the top, pick up another red bead, and go down into the silver bead. And then we're going to fill in 1 and 2 areas with silver beads and make your way all the way down to the bottom. So that's 1 gap. And here we're going through this red bead. If you're a little confused about where you're going into the red bead. And then just come all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to turn it over so I can actually see a little easier. These gardeners are still chopping down a tree or whatever they're doing. I don't know. Okay. And come out from the first bead after the corner bead. And then we're going to do our filling in. So remember, this time we're filling from the right to the left. So we're coming out the top here. We're going to go into the bottom of our hole opposite, the bead opposite our on the corresponding side. And because we came from the upper right, we're going to enter into the upper right. And then we're going to go into the bottom of that bead that we started with and move up an extra 2 beads. So 3 in total. We're just going to do that. So we're going to fill in 1, 2, 3 more holes. And here, don't get confused. You're going into the red bead. So it might look confusing, but it's just exactly the same as what we've been doing, just going into that joining red bead. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to pass through this bead, hop up into my spine, fill it in, and then I'm going to reinforce around the middle of the H. Then I'm going to put the spine bead here and fill it in, and then we'll be finished with this section. Huzzah! So I'm hoping that since we've already done it twice, you know how to do that. Excuse me. So I'm going to leave you to do that, and I will meet you back when we are finished. So just fill in your spine, reinforce, fill in a spine bead here, and then join your middle, put your filler beads in. Okay? and I'll see you when I see you. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully that went okay for you and you were able to finish off your red H. I barely had enough thread, but I was able to do all my reinforcing and finish that middle strip, and then I just tied it off. And I tied off my other tail as well. So now we have to sew it together. So you'll notice on the one that I originally did, I had the wreath, because this O is red, so if you put it here, you know, you can't really see the O. So I kind of put the wreath at a little angle so that the bow would kind of hang over the H, and it kind of hides where the top is, because it doesn't always connect up beautifully either. Kind of just start to lay it out, see how you're gonna want to do it. So I put my red O down here and my green O up here, and then you're gonna want, everything should be attached by 2 or 3 beads. So try and find, you know, you can kind of turn it, try and find an angle or some beads that look like they might fit together nicely. So like that for that top bit, looks like it's going to fit. That should fit in that section there. I usually start with this area to get the wreath in place, and then you're going to want to connect like the foot of and the head of your H's on. So there's no correct way to do this. You just have to kind of eyeball it and do as best you can. So I've got a fresh piece of thread, and I'm going to start here. I think I'm going to connect this red all the way down to this gold onto these 5 beads here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew into that top bead of those 5, and I'm just going to leave a tail so I know where I'm coming from. Okay, so, and then I wanted to sew from this gold to the red, so I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. So I'm coming out the bottom, I'm going to sew through my wreath until I get up to that red bead at the top. And then I know that I want to go back in where my tail is, okay? And then it's a good idea to also make a few inner connections. So once you've made your outer connection, then maybe go through here, kind of loop around a few more times, you know, maybe. So I'll probably do like this gold bead, and then I'll do like this green with those 2, then maybe this. So make sure you kind of do a few different joins of the beads so that they sit together well. So like here I'm coming out this gold, and I could go into that green and red on that side. So I'm going to go through those. So we're just doing square stitch, and I'm going to pass through those top 2 plus maybe 2 more. Okay. So I'm going to sew into the green right here plus the green above it, but not the red one, because I want to make a few different pathways between these beads. And then I'm going to go down into the second gold bead right here. Down to the last gold bead. Okay, I'm going to have to go one at a time here, I think. You may find that you need to switch to a thinner needle. On the first one I did have to switch to a thinner needle to sew in some of my connections. So just be aware that you can do that if it helps, okay? And then I'm just gonna sew up into that gold bead. Okay, so now I like to travel around the wreath to connect, because everything is connected to the wreath. So I'm going to travel up here and I'm going to connect this on. And if your connections are a little bit like, maybe one's a little crooked like this, you know, it doesn't matter. See here, it's not completely straight. You can see that kind of bends out, but that's what makes it look kind of fun and cute. And, you know, it's not going to be all perfect lines. You want it to look a little bit organic, okay? So just make your way up here and then figure out, you know, what can connect here. So I'll probably connect the silver and the red onto this green bead, and then I'll figure out where I want to connect this, and I'll have to connect it up here as well. So that's all there is. It's just sewing it together. I can't tell you the right way to do it. It's just how you want to arrange it. And then what I did from my earring is it will balance perfectly if you connect onto this middle H, the top of the middle here. So what I do is I come out from here, I go around my wire guardian, then I go down the corner, I go through the right angle weave unit. So I go down, I guess I'd be coming down here. I come through this red one, and then I go back up and around again. So that way it's connected both through this bead here, and it's connected through this whole section. And then obviously you can put your earring wire on. So I'm going to join all of mine together and go ahead and do that. If you don't have a wire guardian, just put a little loop of like 5 15-ohs or something. Okay, so I'm going to finish sewing this all together, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. Hello everybody, so I finished, and I will say I did have to change needles at one point. I wanted to show you though, because I forgot to mention, if you need to, you can add an extra silver bead. So I added an extra bead here just to reinforce this O, because that's kind of the bit that's most likely to flop around because it's at the top. I also added an extra silver bead here where I joined onto the wreath. So the places you really need to join, you need to join your H to your O to your wreath, your H to your wreath, your H, this one to your wreath. Here you need to make a join, and here you need to make a join, and obviously here. These are going to be the ones that kind of are the supporting joins, so they're the more important joins, but well, these are also important. Anyway, so there is my second earring. So I now have a pair. And I think it came out really cute. I think it's very unique. I don't think I've ever seen kind of any bead weaving like this. So hopefully you guys like it and you try it. And I hope that you enjoy this project. I am hoping to get another video done this year, another Christmas video, but we'll see how it goes. And I just want to remind you that I am on Instagram at Jules and Rose, and I'm on Facebook at Jules and Rose. And we have a really nice little beading group as well called Jules and Rose's Beading Buds. If you go to my Facebook page, there should be a link to that group. You do have to answer the questions in order to join. I have a lot of people request to join and they don't answer the questions, so I will not let you in. And the other admin over there is Sarah Smith, who is also known as Rose, who was my beading buddy when I lived in the UK. We had a little business together. And so she's the other admin in there. Okay, so I hope you guys have a great holiday, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.